What is going on, guys? XBDoomer here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create skyboxes in your Doom maps using the UDMF format in Doom Builder. And I'll also be showing you some pretty cool effects such as setting fades, texture scrolling, sky walls, adding actors, and creating multiple skyboxes so at different parts of your map can show a separate sky. This may come in handy if you had like an Earth and Hell section in your map. You'd want to use like a different sky depending on where the player is. Before we get started, I just want to show you the GZDoom wiki page for Skybox. Now, this pretty much explains what a Skybox is and how you can add it in Doom Builder. This site is a very good resource, especially if you're learning like ACS scripting and decorate. But what prompted me to really make this tutorial is that there's not really a step-by-step guide on here as to how to create one in Doom Builder. It goes on to talk about what a skybox is and how they're used in video games, like with this box shape here, but we've got this text here explaining what you need to do. So I figured that I'll create this video just so you can like follow along using your own textures, or even just using like random textures. The whole point really is to demonstrate like how you can actually create the skybox and what you need to do in order to get there. And then what you choose to add to your skies is entirely within your power. So all we're done with that screen. Before we get into Doom Builder, I'm just going to show you what WAD we're working with. So I've got this skybox.wad here, which I've just set up. I just want to show you basically some of the textures we're going to be using. For example, I've got this night time sky here, which is they've got some stars, so that would be good for like a night setting. I've also got this blue like cloud texture to be good for daytime settings, and I've also got sky wall here, which we can add in our skybox, so we can make these like appear in the background of the sky. A bit like how in Ultimate Doom's episode 2 with you got the red sky and the mountains like in the background. And one more thing I want to show you is this is our moon sprite, which I basically added in really. So you can add sprites into skyboxes as well, like actors, also known as actors in the Doom world. This decorate script here just sort of defines the properties, states, and flags for the moon. So without this script, we wouldn't be able to add it in Doom Builder. Now I'm not going to go too much into this script right now. So we're all pretty much done with this. So now, without further ado, without any further delays, let's go into our Doom Builder. Now I use GZDoom Builder 2.3, which is what's compatible with my system. This will also work in Ultimate Doom Builder. It's all pretty much the same sort of layout. I'm going to open our skybox.wad. So the format is UDMF, which is pretty much the format most people use these days for mapping. This also is possible in the hexen format, but we've sort of evolved from that and moved on to UDMF because it has a lot more features, and it's pretty much easier to use, much more user friendly as well. So let's go ahead and go OK to that. So now here's our blank map. So this is where it all begins. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a sector where we're going to have our player start. Now I'm just going to make this quite big so we get a nice view of our sky. I'm going to add in our go to things mode and add in our player start. So of course without this we wouldn't be able to launch a map because we need a player start. We need a place for the player to spawn in on the map, and I've just put him in the center right here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this. I'm not creating the skybox just yet. This is just still within our player sector here, and there's our player start. We're going to go to the ceiling, right click, and then we're going to go to the surfaces tab, and then where we've got ceiling, we're going to click on this, and we want to set this to fsky1. So I'm going to go into Doom 2 wide resource here. I'm just going to do f underscore, there it is, fsky1. So I'm going to double click on that, and as you can see it's added in our default Doom 2 sky. So let's just take a quick look at that sec. So yeah, there's our Doom 2 Sky 1. Got this like dome effect here, which personally I'm not too much of a fan of. That's why I like to say Skyboxes. You have much more freedom to customize your sky, and they don't have this sort of dome effect, which GZDoom and Xandron have by default. So that's all pretty much all set up for a skybox. So just to recap then, we've drawn our sector, got our player start, and we've set our ceiling texture to Sky 1. So now we're going to just create our skybox. And say the creation of skyboxes in Doom Builder is very simple. So all we need to do is we're going to create a new sector here. I'm going to make this 640 by 640 and dimensions. And right now this is just say another sector we've drawn, same as this one. We're not going to obviously include a player start here. What we're going to include instead, we're going to go into things mode, and instead of player 1 start, we're going to scroll down to cameras and interpolation, and then we're going to select this bottom option here, which is skybox viewpoint. Now we're going to click OK to that. Just going into visual mode to show you that real quick. So yeah, here's our viewpoint, and this is basically without this, this skybox would just be rendered useless. It's not going to work at all. By adding this means that we have now defined this whole sector as the sky. So when we go into game, it's going to look exactly, the sky's going to look exactly like this sector. Which brings us to the next part, which is, well, we can set our own sky textures. So we don't really want this default Doom sky as our sky texture, so we're going to go ahead and right click, go into our services tab. I've got that up right here. We're going to click on Sky 1, and then we're going to find, let's see, skybox.word. Then we're going to find one of our custom textures. So to start with, I'm going to use our blue clouds. That looks pretty good. And if we were to run this now, it will work. We've got our skybox, but there's one thing that's going to make it look very bad, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that right now. So let's run our game. So as you can see here, we're in game, and we can see our blue sky, but we can also see other parts of the sector that we don't want to see, like these wall textures here. We don't want to see those at all. So let's go ahead and do that and sort that problem out. Now the reason I showed you that is just that it's quite a common mistake people make. Is they'll create their skybox and then they'll load that up and go, oh, okay, the wall textures are showing, and that's not good. How are we going to get rid of those? Well, the solution is you go into line depth mode, select all of these lines here. We're going to go to our properties tab, and we want to set a line special. So we go down to action, and we're going to click on our browse action button, and we want to go to the line, and then select align horizon, and click OK. And we don't need to do anything with these bits here, so let's just go OK again. Now what that essentially does is that will remove or make the wall textures here invisible, so when we load up the game they're not going to be shown. We're just going to see our ceiling texture, and it'll also create this like horizon effect, which makes our map look a lot bigger and a lot more atmospheric, and that adds a great deal of depth to it. So let's go ahead and run this again, and as you can see, those wall textures are gone now in the sky, and we've just got our lovely blue sky. And you can see the horizon effect in the distance. You know, it looks like this map goes on for ages, when actually it's just one single sector. But we can do so much more with this. That's what we're going to move on to. But to say a quick recap, what we've done here with our skybox is we've drawn our sector, given it our viewpoint thing, placed it in there, and made the lines here line horizon. And of course we've set our blue sky texture, that's what we want. Now, as I say, you could go in and change this to whatever you want. So for example, let's say we wanted it to be the water, and we'll run that real quick. See, there we go, we've got a water sky, and as you can see, it even animates. So unlike the traditional Doom 2 skies, we've got animation here, so you can even include like animated textures, say pretty much anything you want. We're going to quit that, and we're going to just go ahead and set it back to our blue sky for now. So the next thing we want to do is sky walls. Now that is very easy, again, very easy to create. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a box around our sky viewpoint. So yeah, this will represent our sky wall. And what we're going to do with this is I'm going to go select all of these lines right here, right click, go to our front tab and select our middle texture, and what we want to do is we want to select the skywall 5. Now this is going to be our mountains, so I'm also going to just set the back texture as well. So we've got front and back set to our skywall 5. Go into the game, or visual mode even, and as you can see here, we've got these mountains. Now, you can see the offsets here and the textures aren't great. There's a few clipping issues here. So, one really cool feature of Doom Builder is that it will actually, you can actually, by pressing a single key, this will automatically fix this like offset issue rather than manually going in and like changing them with the arrow keys. So we're going to go ahead and highlight just the texture. And then press the letter A, and as you can see here, it automatically fixes that issue. Where you've got, say, the mountains now aligned perfectly with each other. We're going to go ahead and run this and see what it looks like in game. So there we go. We've just now added some mountains to our blue sky. And let's say it looks very similar to the say Doom, Ultimate Doom Episode 2 sky, with like the where it was the red. That sky I believe was red, not blue. So there's really one more thing we need to do to make this complete. Now you can see the sky is very static. I think it would be nice if we had the clouds like scrolling, moving along. So. But just to quickly recap with the sky wall, so yeah, just drew another sector within the skybox, added our sky wall textures. Again, those sky wall textures can be anything, I just used the mountains as like an example. But the main point is you want to create them around your viewpoint, and to get the best results. You don't want to have it so it's like create them outside. So we don't want to have it so the viewpoint was here and you create the box. You want to make sure that the viewpoint is in the very center. So yeah, moving on to the scrolling. So we're going to accomplish that by using a very simple ACS script. But before we get into that, the first thing we need to do is give our skybox a tag. So I'm going to select both of these and right click in sector mode, and then I'm going to give it as a new tag of 1. So there we go, there's our tag. So as you can see, we've got both tags 1, the selection there, tag 1, tag 1. That's the first thing we want to do, because we're going to be referencing that tag number in our script. So the next part is we're going to open our script editor. So up here in the top left hand corner you should have a button that says open script editor. I'm going to go ahead and just start writing this. If you're familiar with ACS, then this won't be anything new to you. Anyone that's learning it, you can just literally copy what I'm doing right now. If you're not familiar, if you haven't seen it before, so we're going to hash include the common ACS, which imports the ACS function library. Next we're going to write our script keyword, if I can spell it correctly. And we're going to give it a name, which will be scroll, sky, box, ceiling, and open. So every ACS script starts with a script keyword. I'm going to give it a name in double quotes, and the open word just means that it's going to run as soon as we launch the game. So we're going to open up do some braces here, open and close braces. And this is just a one-line script. All we need to do is use the scroll underscore ceiling function. And we're going to have some brackets here. So we've got a few arguments to work with. So each function you call will typically need arguments. The arguments are what's in these brackets here. So our first argument is tag. So we set it as tag 1. So we're going to include 1 here. I'm going to use a comma. We're going to give this X move a 0. And our Y move, we're going to give a number 2. And as you can see, the last argument is unused, so we'll just go 0 for that. And we want to add our semicolon on the end, very important. So what this does is it will take our tags 1, which we've added in our skybox, and it will scroll the ceiling texture very slowly to the north. Now I've used a 2 because if we were to increase this number, that would increase the speed of the scroll. Now sky typically will scroll quite slowly, so I'll put that as 2, and it will get this, and we'll have this nice slow sky movement. Let's just go ahead and compile this. We've got no errors, so I'm going to minimize our script editor and go into game and see what this looks like. So as you can see, can you see that? The sky is moving now, quite very slowly to the north. So that really completes it, doesn't it? We've got our blue sky with the mountains, and the clouds they're moving, which gives that nice added sky effect. I'm going to go ahead and just show you a bit more in that script. So let's say if we set this to 10 and go compile that and go back into game, you can see the sky, the ceiling is scrolling a lot faster. So that is also perfectly fine. I think personally I prefer it to go a bit slower, but so that's that script or that ACS function. I'm going to set it back to 2 for now, just so it's nice and slow for us. And that's pretty much it. We've created our skybox. We've put in some mountains in our sky, and we've also made the sky ceiling texture scroll. So it creates that effect that it is a sky, and there are clouds in the sky that are moving, much like they would do, really. I'd say having that stationary effect there made it look a little bit static. So yeah, that's pretty much a lot covered already. And now you know how to create skyboxes, add sky walls to them, and also make the sky ceiling texture scroll. So moving on, we're going to use that nighttime texture, and we're also going to add in our actor sprite to a sky and see how that looks. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to create another skybox here. Let's make it 640 640. Let's just make it the same size as the other one. There we go. Make them line up there. That's good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take our viewpoint and just move it down to our blank skybox. So I've just deactivated that skybox for now. So now we've just got a fresh new one. I'm going to give our ceiling texture, change our sky texture. So we're going to have our nighttime sky here. And if you wanted to, you could just make all of this the sky, all like the walls and the floor of the sky. That's absolutely fine. You would still want to make the lines horizon though. So you remember when we created our first skybox, we made these line horizon. I'm going to do the same again for this one. Otherwise, you might get issues where the sky will, you might be able to see like the corners of the skybox in the sky, and it will just look a little bit amateurish. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set our special. So we did this earlier, and I'm just redoing what we did earlier with our line horizon. Okay, so that skybox is all set, ready to go. By adding in our sky view, well, taking our sky viewpoint and dragging it to this one, we've got ourselves a new skybox. One thing I'm going to show you before we add in our moon is I'm going to show you how you can add like colors to skies, or fades as they're called. This used to only be accomplished by using a script, but with the UDMF format, it's much easier to do. So we're going to go into sectors mode, going to right click, and we're going to go into properties, and now this is on our second skybox, and then we've got this fade option here. So we're going to click on fade, and we're going to give it a nice blue color. Going to OK to that. And what we also want to make sure is our brightness isn't too bright. So the brighter sector is, the lesser the color fade is going to show up. So 192 brightness is absolutely fine for this. So we're going to go OK to that. And then if we go in game, so as you can see, we've got this nice blue sky effect on our black sky texture. That looks pretty nice. As you see again, you've got that horizon effect, so it gets brighter as further this way further it goes. So that's all. So you can make this any color you wanted. So if we go back into the fade, let's say red. Okay to that. Let's see what it looks like in red. There we go. So it almost looks like it could be like the sun setting or something like that, or it just looks very evil. But yeah, that's that fades colours to your skies very easily in Doom Builder without using like paint tools or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and set this back to blue, so I think that will work nicely with our moon, which brings us to our next topic, which is adding in the moon. So all we need to do is go into things mode. I'm going to right click, and then we're going to go to our decorate folder. Now whenever you add or define a new actor in decorate and give it a Doom editor number, see if the moons is 30018, Doom Builder will create this decorate folder in things mode. So you just expand that, and you can add, and this is where you can add your custom actors in your game. So I've gone ahead and added we're going to add our moon in. I've just added that right there. I'm going to go into visual mode, and as you can see, it's on the ground. So we want to make this higher. A little bit higher right here. Let's say that would probably do nicely. I'm going to go into game and just see what that looks like. So yeah, there's our moon. It's quite big. You can adjust the size of it by putting it nearer the viewpoint or further away. So I'll just show you that real quick. Let's say we want the moon to be really big, so let's make it closer to the viewpoint. Probably keep it the same height, that's fine. I'm going to go into game again, and well, in fact, we've actually made it higher as well. So when players look directly up, they'll see that, whereas looking normally you can't see it. So whether you want that effect or not, that's entirely up to you. So yeah, that's our moon added in. What we're going to do is, I'll just show you one thing. If we make this a bit lower, this just demonstrates as well, like with the viewpoint, like how that works. So our viewpoint now is, the moon is very low and quite close to the viewpoint. So let's see what that looks like again. So yeah, a lot bigger, and really you just be playing about with this until you find the effect that you want for your map. But say it's all in really moving the actor moon about, just like you would like a demon or any other thing. And yeah, it's part of your sky. So that pretty much covers adding actors to skyboxes and setting those fades. Last thing I'm going to cover really is if you wanted, let's say, 2 skies in your map. Now traditionally, Doom, you'd have just one sky for each map. Whether that's like a cloud sky, hell sky. But skyboxes change all of that. And you can have the ability to create multiple skies in your map, so it might be handy, let's say, if your player teleported to a different part of the map and they were in hell or something and they were on Earth, just as like that sort of scenario, you'd probably want to choose a different sky for hell. And how we do that is very simple. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this viewpoint back to our daytime skybox. And I'm going to give our nighttime skybox its own viewpoint now. So let's go into cameras, installation, and I'm going to go to skybox viewpoint. And now we want to. So at the moment, we're back into our daytime skybox, and we want to use both of them. So how are we going to incorporate that into our map? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to draw ourselves, say, another sector. Now this will show our nighttime sky, this sector. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create like a pathway. Each sector in game. What we want to do with that is I'm going to just quickly make this not a sky texture, so we can just to demonstrate to say how it's going to look. Okay, so let's say we're in your map and you've got a sector here that you want to be a certain sky, and you've got another sector here that you want to be a different sky. So let's go ahead and well, the first thing I'm going to do is, you see these 2 viewpoints we added in. I'm going to go into things mode, right click on them, and hang on a second. Yeah, we want to give it a tag of a new tag, so we're going to give our viewpoint a tag of 2. So that should now have a... Oh. There we go, sorry about that, guys. There we go, there's our tag. We're going to give our viewpoint tag a 2. And we're also going to do the same for our nighttime skybox. But we're not going to give it a tag of 2, we're going to give it a separate tag. So we'll give it a tag of 3. So that will work out quite nicely. Okay, so just confirm what I did there. I gave our skybox viewpoint a tag of 2 and our skybox viewpoint, our night sky, tag of 3. So our daytime sky has a tag of 2, our nighttime sky has a tag of 3. All we need to do to link these together is, I'm going to move our player out of the way for a sec. We're going to go into things mode again, add a new thing. I'm going to scroll down to cameras and interpolation, and we're going to go skybox picker. And as you can see here, we've got skybox viewpoint, it's the one above, we want skybox picker. I'm going to add that in, and we're also going to add a skybox picker for our other texture, our other sector right here, so skybox picker again. So there we go. And all we need to do with this is link these up to our skyboxes. So whatever we want to show in our first sector, we want to show the daytime sky. So our daytime sky has a skybox viewpoint has a tag of 2. So we're going to go right click on our picker, action, go to the action tag misc tab, and we've got this. So you've got skybox viewpoint tag drop down here. We want to set this to the corresponding skybox viewpoint, so we're going to set that to 2, and then we're going to set this to ceiling only. So what that will do is that will show, because we've given this a tag of 2, we're going to, and it will show our daytime sky. Because in the picker properties, skybox viewpoint tag 2. And that skybox viewpoint has a tag of 2. We'll just repeat the process for our night one. So I'm going to right click on our night picker, and we're going to give our skybox viewpoint tag, we're going to give it a tag of 3. And we're going to apply to the ceiling again. So that's all linked up. So just to recap, 2 sectors here in game, but this sector we want to show our daytime sky, so we've given our skybox picker the skybox viewpoint tag 2, and there's our skybox viewpoint with a tag of 2. And here's our nighttime sector with our skybox picker, and we've given it the skybox viewpoint tag 3 because our viewpoint tag in our night sector is a tag of 3. So now let's run this and see what it looks like. There we go, we've got our our daytime sky here, and if we move over to our start, we've got our nighttime sky. And go back, and we've got our daytime sky here with the scrolling blue cloud texture, which looks very nice. And here's our night again with our massive blue. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up this tutorial. I hope that helped you out, and I hope that's given you a bit like giving you some ideas on how you can create skyboxes in your map, and just giving you the options to be able to create whatever you want really in texture wise. Feel free to leave any comments if you've got any questions, and if you come across any tutorials on the GZDoom wiki that you'd like to see a video made of, then feel free to leave suggestions in the comments. If you enjoyed this tutorial, feel free to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more Doom tutorial content. And yeah, thanks guys, have a great day.